we are aware that there is this human plane that is limited. And we know that we are not that, we are limited. But we still decide willingly and with awareness to play by the rules of that game. Could we say something like this? Because, for example, if we say that we are unlimited, then we can say, I don't need to eat.
I don't?
I don't need to eat or to kind of take care of my body, no?
Yes. We are playing limited because we know that we are unlimited. The limitness in our humanness is not real. That's the reason why we can accept it. That's why we're not all here to create cities and to not eat and not to drink. But these things exist, apparently. People that can survive without food, people that can survive without water. What the truth of these stories? But as I say, we're in India now, so it's all a bit, we're a bit influenced by, no? But it doesn't matter. In theory, yes, with full non-dual understanding, and that's your question is arising from that intelligence. You know intuitively that all these limitations should actually not be here. And we're moving a bit in that direction because we don't go cheap. We wanna be happy all the time. So I'm moving us a bit in that direction. And from that, this question arises because it's true. If I'm unlimited, why I'm having all these limited experiences? And yes, just as you say, we accept a certain limits in our experience because we come here, we want to make experiences. Like my favorite example of the cappuccino. We just had a couple with Carla when she was here. Or Leslie today, her Prosecco, opening the swimming season. These are experiences that are hard to make if you are in this total soup of I am consciousness and nothing is separate from me, and I'm so blissed out that there is, limited joy in the cappuccino in a way, because it's just all, this lump of kuh dung and the gold in reality is the same. If we would truly all know that already, or would have not forgotten that, we would be very little interested in this human experience. We want to plunge into it and we want to have our cappuccinos. We want to jump around and dance, and maybe we hurt our ankle and then we know we jump a little less, or we get old like me and we dance a bit more carefully next time because the knee hurts 2 days after the conscious dance of the last evening of the retreat. But yeah, we accept certain limitations because happiness is the goal, peace is the goal, and the happiness and the peace is in knowing that in reality those limitations are just imagined limitations. They're not real limitations. They're not limiting me. They're just an appearance in me that play the limiting role. The limitation is only in the name and in the form, in the picture. Thought or an image is limited because it has a beginning and it has an end. It's not eternal, it's not infinite, it's limited. Being a man or being a woman is a limitation in the sense that I'm not always gonna be a man or a woman. I'm enjoying to be a man, and you are hopefully enjoying to be a woman for the joy of the experience of an avatar as a man and the experience in the avatar as a woman. And we're probably making all of them along the way, so to speak. As consciousness, of course, we're making of them all the time. But we want to have that sense of, in a way, when the light of consciousness chooses to contract into an avatar and to pretend to be an avatar, the undivided light of consciousness, the unlimited light of consciousness, kind of gets broken into two. It's like the egg, no? Where the evolution apparently starts, no? Where life comes to the planet. The light of consciousness breaks into two, into subject and objects. I, the subject. This is the point of view that I'm speaking about. You get this point of view because you need a point of view. Without a point of view, you cannot enjoy the cappuccino. You cannot enjoy to jump into the swimming pool. You need this apparent subject-object relationship. And this is where the confusion is, because even in the enlightened state, so to speak, our natural state of being, like the child just playing, it's still experiencing a world. It's still experiencing a body. It's still experiencing its friends, its mates, and jumping, climbing the tree and rocking the tree and falling off the tree and hurting the leg. All of that is this point of view making this experience of duality, while reality, you, consciousness, is the eternal witness of all of that, but not a part of that which is experience. It's just a willingly, happily taken limitation that is not a real limitation for the sake of experiencing objects, the world, a body. But it's like the dream that you wake up from, where you were flying around. I've been a compulsory flyer and also diver. That's why I'm using those examples. There are two dreams that are very common to me. And you wake up and it's like, oh no. I'm back into this, no? Waking dream. So I might get a bit depressed when I wake up. Because suddenly I have these limitations that I didn't have in the dreaming world. And realizing, understanding what I am is exactly overcoming the limitations of the waking dream, of the dreaming dream, and of deep sleep, of pure ignorance. I am unlimited, unchanging, undivided, eternal whole, without beginning and without end. And that understanding, that self-knowledge gives me permission to pack up my avatar backpack and take my gears and plunge in and climb the tree and jump the pool and have the cappuccino, because nothing can happen to me, nothing can harm me. All the limitations are not real.
But they are to the avatar.
They are?
They are to the avatar.
They are to the avatar what?
The limitations are real to the avatar. Because if the avatar thinks or behaves as if the limitations were not real, then the avatar can jump from the building and think he will fly.
I wouldn't risk it to jump from the building. Maharaji maybe would. There is no avatar.
But then there are no limits.
Exactly. The absolute truth is that there is no avatar and that there is no limitations. No birth, no death, no karma. Just one reality. Appearing, playing, to be something. But there is nothing. It's another way to put it. Let's look at it a bit less philosophical, maybe. As deeper the non-dual understanding is landing in me, so to speak, metaphorically speaking, because it's not landing in the avatar, it's just uncovering itself to itself for all of us in consciousness, as consciousness. It's not that the avatar is learning something new. As deeper all these paradoxes dissolve, and the understanding that there is nothing but consciousness, basta. One reality, basta, end of story. As deeper this understanding in a way is available in my experience, in my daily experience, apparently in my experience as an avatar, but it's consciousness in me, our shared being that is experiencing in me and in you simultaneously. As deeper it's landing, so to speak, as more of the apparent limitations that I have accepted to belong to me as an avatar are dissolving. One example that you will be familiar with is human design or astrology. The limitations of our star sign that are apparently real and that somehow kind of have power over this avatar. The human design that is even more refined, or the gene keys or whatever, that I've like, wow, and you're like, wow, this is so me. How do they know? How do they know that I'm a projector and I'm so sensitive and la la la? As deeper you are inheriting your birthright to be unlimited pure consciousness, as less power those systems have in your life. My human design is almost forgotten in my daily experience now. Even it was relevant at some point because it helped me to understand my avatar a bit. But we have to be careful that then none of these limitations become real limitations, because that is the freedom. You see, if you believe your human design to be you're gonna experience your avatar in your human design. That's your freedom. But if you're open to the possibility that you can be a super yogi and not for egoistic purposes, but maybe just secretly for yourself. If you have a broken toe and you won't tell anyone, but you are too lazy to drive to the doctor, so yeah, maybe you can heal yourself without making a big thing out of it. Why not? Because yes, in theory, there is no limitation to the dream. It's just not an egoistic trip. We are here to play a harmonious game in a way, and that's what we have these rules for. No, that we spoke about. It's like the tennis match. In a way, we need some rules, otherwise we're just gonna hit the rackets over our heads eventually if we don't have some parameters how to play the game, and the physical laws and all of that are these parameters that make the dream kinda the game enjoyable. But I can tell you from my experience that there is a hinge, there is a feeling, there is a growing intuition from this unlimitedness, that it also, even it's not talked about so much, but that it kind of very practically, the power of self-healing that is available to this avatar through the light of consciousness is so much trusted by now. Having had a very strong karma with somehow a strong limitation of health to this avatar, giving me a lot of hard times, making the game not so enjoyable, making me partly seek my true nature, making me set on the journey of realizing what I truly am. Along the way, the self-knowledge became so much more important than my physical health. And as a side effect, the limitations of the body somehow at least have changed to a vast degree. Because the emphasis is on being that what I am, unlimited, universal, loving awareness. And then there is without a me, an ego in the picture, having a super, I don't know, super duper body or some special. If that goes, then usually, in my experience, then you kind of, this light of awareness takes well care of the body and takes well care of your experience. But usually we don't become superheroes, and because maybe it's not actually what we really want. We just want to be happy. We just want to be at peace. We want to love everyone. We want to enjoy the apparent limitation. I don't know. Do I want to be 300 years old and see another generation coming into apparent ignorance and dissolving apparent ignorance, and maybe one limited time span in a body is quite intelligent, actually. So the trick is to give yourself to that which is unlimited in your experience, which is the silent background of awareness, the source of existence, the source of creation, including your avatar, including your experience. Giving yourself, as deeper the understanding finds roots in you, to have faith and total commitment to the invisible, and then trusting that the visible, the apparent limited, will play out in the most intelligent way, because this silent awareness without the mind knowing what's going on is pure intelligence and knows exactly best what you wish for. Verstehst du?
I understood.
Wait, then now we have there were the firecrackers of understanding outside. Say again?
Did you ask if I understood?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the firecrackers answered. There was a big big celebration outside. This is a very intelligent question, and it arose in me over the years, over and over again. It's exactly that. There is this hinge. There is this you're getting the feeling, so to speak. It's limited in words. You know what I mean? The feeling of your true nature, that it's real, this unlimitedness. This, no? So why is my experience still limited? It's asking, no? When I know that I'm not. And that dance in a way is the journey. And here in our meetings, I'm inviting us exactly that, just because we are having, a Western paradigm where kind of the physical laws and physiological laws of the body are kind of set in stone. I don't quite buy into that. It's like, okay, but this is just the body, and the body has its limitations. No, you are absolutely right. It doesn't make sense. If you have real non-dual understanding, you cannot say it's like, okay, the body is just the body. It's kind of, it needs its antibiotics and it needs its whatever. No? It's no, this body is made. The substance of this body is consciousness. So at least in theory, it should be able to be much more free and less limited that we believe it to be. Let's put it this way.